The Karo's dominion prided itself on one undeniable truth. No species in the galaxy was reckless enough to volunteer for the Crucible. The Crucible was the Dominion's oldest nightmare, an ancient, shifting battlefield buried in the hollowed core of a rogue planet drifting between stars. It was a place where physics bent, where time warped, and where predators evolved by consuming the memories of the living. Every year, the Dominion sent a handful of forced conscripts into its depths to recover valuable relics forged by the lost precursors. Every year, almost no one returned. Until humanity arrived. The humans were newcomers, strange, loud, unpredictable, and dangerously curious. They approached every threat like it was a challenge rather than a warning. They treated death as negotiable. And when the Dominion posted the contract for the Crucible, complete with a list of fatality statistics that made even seasoned warriors tremble, humans did the unthinkable. They clicked accept. Beginning, the job no one wanted. Grand strategist Valek stared at the readings on the holoscreen, mandibles frozen mid-twitch. Recheck the applicants, he ordered the AI. The screen refreshed. Human, 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 human. 18 applications. All from Terrans. Why would they apply? One advisor whispered. The danger rating is Class Omega. It says, added another, reading from the listing, that temporal dislocation, spatial collapse, psychological inversion, and predatory memory entities are expected. Why would any sane being volunteer? Strategist Valek exhaled weakly. Humans, he muttered, are not, by any measure, sane. Across the hall, a Dominion envoy greeted the Terran delegation. He expected fear, concern, hesitation, anything to indicate awareness of the horrors awaiting them. Instead, he found a group of humans smiling like they'd stumbled into an amusement park. A woman with a shaved head asked, "So, how many of these things do we get to fight?" A man beside her added, "Are we allowed to keep the artifacts we find?" Asking for a friend. A third asked, "Any chance we can record the mission? My kid loves weird monster stuff." The envoy nearly fainted. Middle, into the Crucible. When the heavy blast doors of the transport ship opened, the humans stared into the swirling abyss of the Crucible, fractured landscapes fused in impossible ways. Floating islands of stone drifted through gravity pockets. Rivers flowed upward. Echoes of voices whispered from nowhere and everywhere. At the center stood Commander Alex Granger, humanity's chosen lead. He cracked his knuckles. "All right, team. Helmets sealed. Weapons charged. Keep your minds sharp and your spirits up. Remember, anything too weird to be real probably wants to eat you. Move fast. Stick together. And whatever happens, don't let it touch your memories." The squad responded with a collective, "Hoa." The Dominion observers, watching safely from orbit, winced. "These humans," one general muttered, "will surely die within minutes." He was wrong. The first encounter. The ground beneath the humans rippled like water and split open. A creature rose, an amorphous mass of shimmering faces, each whispering fragments of stolen memories. "Memory leech!" shouted Granger. The creature lunged. The humans didn't run. They attacked. Sergeant Nova sprinted forward, slamming an energy pike into the creature's core. Private Ramos hurled an anti-entropy grenade that distorted the creature's form. Granger fired a plasma burst that vaporized the screaming faces. The monster dissolved into dust. The Dominion observers stared at the monitors. "They killed it." In seconds, another whispered, "No species has ever." The room fell silent. What kind of species laughs while fighting that? Because indeed, The audio feed caught the humans chuckling. Further in, the humans battled their way across shifting landscapes, adapting instantly to each new danger. Temporal vortices? Humans anchored themselves together with gravity belts and walked through them. Spatial collapse zones? They leapt nimbly, tagging collapsing areas with beacons like it was a park-hour challenge. Hallucinogenic psychic storms? Humans gritted their teeth and kept marching. At every turn, they improvised, joked, encouraged each other, and refused to break. One soldier pointed at a floating island shaped like a giant skull. Bet you 10 credits there's a boss fight up there. Another laughed. Make it 20. Commander Granger shook his head. Focus, idiots. But he couldn't hide his smile. The heart of the crucible. The team reached the central chamber, a vast cavern lit by an enormous structure pulsing with precursor energy. A relic tower stood in the center, surrounded by a storm of fractured timelines. Echoes of past explorers flickered in and out, screaming silently as spectral tendrils pulled them into oblivion. A monstrous guardian formed from the swirling storm, hundreds of limbs, dozens of eyes, dripping with fractured light. It roared. Private Remos whispered, "That's the thing from my nightmares." "Funny," said Nova. "It's the thing from my childhood cartoons." Commander Granger unsheathed his plasma blade. "All right, team," he said firmly. "Let's show the galaxy why humans applied for this stupid job." The monster attacked with temporal distortion waves that aged objects instantly. One soldier dodged a blast that turned the ground beneath him into dust. Another narrowly avoided being reverted into infancy. And yet, they pushed forward. Ramos held a time anchor grenade. The explosion froze the monster's shifting form for 3 seconds, just long enough for Nova to leap onto its back and plunge her energy spikes deep into its core. The monster shrieked, fracturing into 1,000 splitting shards of reality. Commander Granger charged through the chaos, slicing through the creature's center. Light erupted. The storm collapsed. Silence followed. The relic tower's glow faded to a gentle pulse. "We did it," Granger said softly. His team cheered, exhausted but alive. Ending, the Empire reacts. When the humans emerged from the crucible, battered but victorious, the Dominion's Hall of Leadership erupted in disbelief. Vilek approached the Terrans cautiously. "Humans," he said slowly, "you have succeeded where all others failed. You have conquered the crucible and retrieved the precursor relic. How did you do it?" Granger shrugged. "We read the briefing." "But the dangers?" "Yeah," said Nova, "but the pay was good." "And honestly," added Ramos, "sounded fun." The Dominion leaders exchanged horrified glances. "Fun." Commander Granger clapped Vilek on the shoulder. "Look, we humans have a simple way of thinking. Someone offers a deadly challenge? We figure someone's got to do it. Might as well be us. And if we survive, we get a good story to tell." Vilek trembled. "And if you had died?" The humans shared a look. Granger smirked. "Then we would have died doing something awesome." The Dominion Council realized, perhaps for the first time, that humanity was not merely another species. They were a force. A wild, unpredictable, unstoppable force that signed up for the deadliest job in the galaxy not out of desperation, but because it sounded like an adventure. From that day forward, no posting in the Dominion remained empty for long. Whenever the galaxy needed a task performed that no one else dared attempt, a simple message was sent to Earth. "Humans, we have a job." And humanity's answer was always the same. "Send us the details. We're in."